Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Inside Out Smile. I'm your host, Dr. Amber Q, and I'm going to do something different today. Yes, I'm going to read something out to you. So one of my dear friends sends me emails with the latest blog posts from a lady. She's a non-Muslim as far as I know, and no, actually I'm pretty sure she is a non-Muslim. And her writing is just absolutely brilliant. So my friend sends me these blog posts and they are just amazing. So I wanted to share with you the latest blog post because I think it just kind of really says everything. And I'll put the blog details in my show notes. But let's go. So of course I can't take any credit for any of this writing. And thank you to my friend, you know who you are, for emailing me brilliant things. So here we are. The blog post is entitled Israel Propaganda versus Palestine Propaganda by Caitlin Johnston. Israel propaganda looks like a music video featuring children singing "We will annihilate everyone in Gaza." Palestine propaganda looks like an endless stream of raw video footage featuring children whose bodies have been ripped apart by Israeli military explosives. Israeli propaganda looks like a music video of Israeli women doing yoga on top of images of the Israeli hostages in Gaza. Palestine propaganda looks like satellite images of entire neighborhoods that have been bombed into rubble by Israeli forces. Israel propaganda looks like the Israeli president waving round an Arabic translation of Mein Kampf and claiming it was found in a child's room in Gaza. Palestine propaganda looks like all the top Western and Israeli human rights institutions declaring that Israel is an apartheid state. Israel propaganda looks like posting cutesy pictures of female IDF troops and saying, when you're mean to Israel, this is who you're being mean to. Palestine propaganda looks like statistics showing that Israel is mostly killing women and children in Gaza. Israel propaganda looks like Israel releasing what it claims to be audio clips of intercepted communications in an effort to exonerate itself from accusations of war crimes after claiming that its intelligence services had no idea of what was up to prior to October the 7th. Palestine propaganda looks like a UN special rapporteur explaining that it is inherently illegal under international law for Israel to be bombing Gaza at all. Israel propaganda looks like the IDF publishing a computer-generated video of a multi-level command headquarters underneath Al-Shifa Hospital. Palestine propaganda looks like humanitarian organizations saying that Israel has been bombing hospitals throughout Gaza and shooting patients through hospital windows. Israel propaganda looks like an IDF soldier pointing to a normal calendar with the days of the week in Arabic at Al-Shifa Hospital and falsely claiming it was a shift schedule for kidnappers. Palestine propaganda looks like social media accounts dedicating themselves to keeping a running tally of the thousands of children who are being killed by Israel. Israel propaganda looks like the Israeli government sharing a bogus video of a woman falsely posing as an Al-Shifa hospital nurse, condemning people for their presence there. I'm not naming who those people are for obvious reasons. Palestine propaganda looks like Palestinian journalists working tirelessly to document Israel's mass atrocities in Gaza while being murdered one by one by the Israeli war machine. Israel propaganda looks like the Israeli government repeatedly posting things on social media that it then has to delete after people highlight the falsehoods and or accidental confessions that they contain. Palestine propaganda looks like Palestinians recording the suffering, displacement, death and dismemberment of their fellow Palestinians in real time. Israel propaganda looks like screaming at people who oppose the ongoing massacre in Gaza and accusing anyone who criticizes Israel's actions of being an anti-Semite and terrorism supporter. Palestine propaganda looks like saying true things and saying factual evidence. It's not hard to see who's in the wrong here. I really love this blog post because it sums up so much. I'd also really like to play a video which was on LinkedIn. I'm not sure what the sound quality is going to be like, but let's try it.
Let me tell you about my people. You might think this is a story of loss, but the truth is the opposite and so much more beautiful than you can imagine. We know of how many of us were lost because we know the names and families of each one of our neighbors. When our friends are lost, we take in their kids who were left behind as if they were our own. When babies' names are lost because they have no surviving family, we give them our own.
I think no member of his family is alive. I'm not sure where they are.
We never leave anyone behind, even as we walk miles and miles into the unknown. We comfort our animals, even as they shake in ways we've never seen before. When we have lost water and finally find some, we make sure our animals drink even before we do. We find ways to make each other laugh, even in the most unfathomable circumstances. We cheer each other when we make it out alive. We cook for each other, even when we have nothing left for ourselves to eat. And we feed each other bites, not knowing if we'll ever eat again. We try to make our kids forget that they've lost birthday cakes. We sing prayers amongst the rubble to comfort anyone who needs it. And when we are threatened by death, we do not waver. We stay with our sick until we've lost our last breath.
Why don't you go with your family south?
You think this is the reason why I went to med school? To think only about my life and not my patients?
Whatever we've lost in the end, we will never lose our dignity. And that is something that colonizers have lost a long time ago.
ليش بدك تطيري؟
عشان أشوف كل الناس.
As I said, I'll link the video below, which I don't know whether you'll be able to view it if you are not a member of LinkedIn, but it's beautiful. But, you know, the fact is that Palestinian people are really suffering under this genocide. And as I speak and as you listen to this, more children have been murdered and more hospitals, mosques, schools, refugee camps, houses, homes, apartments are being bulldozed and bombed. And we need to stop this because it's just inhumane. It's inhumane and it's illegal. Until the next episode, let's all raise awareness and let's protest for peace for everyone, for no loss of civilian life on either side, because we want the world to be a better place. And that's the whole point. That's the whole point. It's to save lives, change lives for the better. I'll have some links if you would like to donate as well. Thank you. Until the next episode, let's all create connection and save lives.